Na 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 na.
Hello,
Na, na, na.
Internet.
Hi there. Didn't realize you were there. Hey guys. Busy enjoying a soundtrack to a movie we might or might not be talking about tonight.
Oh, we're totally talking about.
All right, if you say so.
We're totally talking about Shang-Chi tonight. Latest entry in the Marvel MCU, and probably the best opener we've seen yet in this post-pandemic or pandemic extended time frame.
In a way, yes.
I mean, it's what 90 million or
90 million over the 4-day Labor Day weekend.
I'd say that's pretty awesome.
71 for the weekend gross. So, and they'll make their budget by today actually.
Nice.
So, and that's only 5 days of release. So we still got a few more weeks before the next big movie drops, which is No Time to Die. No, wait. Venom is the next big movie that drops.
I thought that was pushed to next year.
No, Venom was September 24th, moved to mid-October, but because Xiangxi has been doing great, they moved it back up 2 weeks to October, in front of No Time to Die. So whatever weekend's in front of No Time to Die. So
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So Xiangxi's got a lot of weekends to make a lot of money before Venom drops.
That's fair, especially with the 45-day turnaround they got right now.
Yes.
Hey, Mayflower, how you doing?
Hi, May.
Gonna apologize. I seem to be having a bit of a delay in my camera tonight. I'm not quite sure why, but it might be my tech and my software are falling out of alignment, but we'll make the most of it. We'll carry on.
We'll work through it, because we are Scuba and The Ry.
Episode 101.
We're over the century mark. We're
Yes,
kind of
we
old
are.
now.
Time to have some fun.
Super fun!
Alrighty,
Yeah.
So quick shout outs and things to pay the bills and at least give credit where credit is due. Number
Credit to
one
you.
is thank you to all of you who watched this video. You're awesome and amazing human beings. We really
Namaste.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
And if this is your first time seeing this video and you're enjoying the content, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you can be notified when more videos come out.
Somewhere
If
around
you are
there.
a regular and not hitting the like button,
Shame on you.
he said it.
Yes, I did. I said it.
You should really hit that like button if you're enjoying this. You keep coming back, keep watching it. We really love you for doing it. Shout out and a thank you to anyone who's in the chat on the live stream. You're awesome as well. Moderators, much love and much appreciation.
The day is great with you.
Yes. Shout out and a thank you to Sirenscape. Sirenscape's a collection of background music as a soundboard so you can use for your tabletop and gaming experience or as subtle background music for a podcast. Go to sirenscape.com for more information and then check out their online player and all their various offerings for the various types of music they have.
Yes, sir.
Yep. I think that's good for that. We can cover the more stuff later. Oh yeah, school started in Hampton Roads today. Mayflower had her first day as a junior.
Back at it again, doing that school thing.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Everybody's doing a school thing. Everybody's doing a school thing, which is good. School is important. So yeah, hopefully you had fun in your class. Hopefully.
It's just the first day, so you got many more days to experience
Oh,
fun.
I mean, my kids came home saying they had a pretty decent time. So they're really enjoying some of their teachers. Some of the teachers are like, "We're giving you no homework." And at first it's like, "Oh, that sounds really awesome." And then I'm going, "Yeah, no homework means you have to pay extra attention in class to make sure you're grabbing the material for when the test comes up because you're not going to have the homework to reinforce."
Or put it in the kids' hands to be responsible. Oh, that R word is scary.
It is.
Teenagers.
It's such a scary word, but
Scary
that's okay.
word.
I know quite a few of them are pretty sharp tacks. So I don't believe they'll have any problems.
No, siree. I don't think so either.
So what we got on the docket tonight, we're going to talk about Shang-Chi. We're going to talk about another movie with Kevin Hart.
Yep.
Fatherhood. That's a Netflix release, right?
Yep. Netflix original.
We got some odds and ends we'll discuss.
I'm laughing because we know what's coming up.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yep. It's like, yeah, we'll just save it for that.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about some odds and ends. And as always, if I want to shout out and a thank you to the Patreon
Shout out.
supporters. You guys are also awesome and amazing human beings. Go to patreon.com/scuba studio if you want to become a patron. We do a after show live stream strictly for Patreon members. Tonight's topic discussion, spoiler for those who aren't aware yet, we're going to be talking about the new D&D show or game show, whatever.
A new show coming up, people.
We're going to talk about that tonight. We're going to talk about our wrap up. We're going to talk a little bit of the wrap up from Challenge Accepted. If you've been following that or are not aware, Challenge Accepted finished up on Saturday. They completed the final enemy, which completed their arc. And now we're going to start getting ready for a whole new game. Whole new some returning, some new. We'll talk about cast stuff with that and a new story and tentative date for release. But check that out if you want to check that out. Why are people calling me? I'm streaming right now. Probably another one person telling me my extended warranty on my car is expired. It's like, dude, it's a 2010. It's been expired for years. Stop calling me.
They still trying to get the bang for the buck, so they're never going to stop. I get those calls for my Fusion, Ford Fusion.
You ain't had that car in a hot minute.
Yes, it's been quite a few years. And quite a few vehicles between that and now that I've had that Fusion.
Yeah, because I remember the Fusion. And I think you've gone through 3 cars since the Fusion.
Yep, I traded it in, got the Fit, had the Fit for a while, then traded it in for Elantra. Thank you, Craig, for talking me into that. And then engine troubles with the Elantra, and that's when I got the Volkswagen. So
that works. Yeah. That works. Yeah, I'm still running with the Wrangler, but yeah. Anyway, so yeah, we'll just kind of run through this. We'll run through this. Holiday weekend this weekend.
Labor Day weekend.
Did you do anything fun for the weekend?
Oh yeah, I had a few days off. I had 6 days off straight. I took after.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, after the podcast last week, I had the rest of the days off until today. So I did enjoy my long weekend. Drinks all around. Because you got breweries and places around here. So went to Farmhouse, went to New Rome with my cousin, and then drank at his house on Labor Day, grilling and drinking. It was fun. But Saturday we went to me and my girlfriend Angelica went to Water Country USA, one of the water parks in the area up by Williamsburg, which was fun. I haven't been there in a long time. She's never been there, but I'm familiar with it because we used to go to it when we were younger and kids. So most of the rides were open except for Aquazoid, which is fine. I don't really care for that ride, so it's all good.
Were there a lot of people there?
It was busy. It wasn't like elbow to elbow packed, but being the last hurrah of summer, people trying to catch the sun and water and try to get in all the fun before school begins. But yeah, it was busy. Rode a few of the slides. Pretty much chilled a lot in the lazy river. There was a couple guys in that lazy river, which
yeah, I saw some of the Instagram pictures. You were telling me so the prevailing theory is you think these guys were parents.
Yeah.
They came there, the kids are running amok. They're just lounging in the lazy river for the day. Yes.
So I think it's the Rockin' Rapids. And so we went there, chilled in there first, and I saw these 2 guys. So I was like, all right, cool. And there's other people. Went back, did other things, and came back. Same 2 guys were in there, chilling in the tubes, just floating down the river. So my thought, like you said, that they were parents, they came there and said, look, y'all go have fun. We're chilling right here if you need us. So I approve of that because just chilling.
I'm not gonna lie, if I went back there I'd probably do the same thing. I probably wouldn't even bother trying to catch rides. I'm over that.
Oh yeah,
I'm over it.
I did the slides early. We did it early because we got there right at opening. So when you get there opening, you are able to get down the slides fast before the rush comes in, and then that's when we just chilled in the wave pool and in the lazy river later on. So
wave pool could be fun.
Oh yeah. But other than that, the weekend was a long weekend. Started back to school. Classes on Thursday nights. Classes teaching college comp. It's going to be very interesting. I'm already starting to pull my hairs out because, with grad school, it's more, theoretical and you're developing your ideas and stuff for the program you're working in, which is me is teaching in English. So developing the skills and whatnot to teach English in the classroom. So another thing on deck. And then the second, which is our Mansuri, me and Angelica went to our favorite sushi place, Nara Sushi, which you've been there with me And
Yeah, it's a nice little hole in the wall joint out here in the Hampton Roads. It's a really nice place.
It's my favorite place.
If memory serves, I think that's where we first hatched this idea for Scuba and The Ry.
Yes, I was talking about it, and it's like we should do something, and then 2 years later, that's what happened.
2 years later, we have a fairly routine. We have some followers, we have some fans, so that's really appreciated. Hopefully, we'll just continue to kind of get through our growing pains as we evolve, because
it happens.
You have to do that.
We improve. We do things.
You have to do that.
But that's all I got. What you did over the long weekend?
Well, I did. I was convinced to go out and run some errands. Monday, my daughter wanted to go check out this cookie place.
Yeah, you were telling me about that over in Hilltop.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it. It's so obscure. It's like, excuse me.
While you think of it, I will do a deep dive.
It was one of those. They have a rotating menu. They're like gourmet cookies. They're really big and thick. And it was like we drove all the way out there, and we get out there, and it's like the line is out the door, across the walkway, into the parking lot.
I'll bring up the name that comes up. Crumble Cookies?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, right. Crumble Cookies. Very clean, very cool, very modern in terms of tech. You can take the Apple Pay and all that other stuff. So getting in and out wasn't bad. They do like pickup and curbside.
That's good.
But I think it was like $15-20 for 5 cookies. It's like 3 or 4. It's like 4 or 5 cookies in a box is what you get, and it's like these things are like this big around, massive cookies, which overall wasn't bad. I mean, I had an oatmeal cookie. I finished that off today. Took me 2 days to eat it.
I think I have to go here.
Yeah, I was, and then we stopped by Trader Joe's to get some honey, and then it was some errands on the way back. Other than that, is in the shop in the project house for a little bit, cleaning up some stuff. The shop is where I spent a lot of my weekend getting more things organized and put away. I put some videos up on the Instagram site if you want to check those out to see what's going on from there.
Yeah, I have to download that.
There is a delay. Some reason the video is not syncing with my voice. For some reason, I'm not sure why. I can't quite figure out how to fix it.
I'm just roll tide.
Just gonna roll through it. So we're gonna have this kind of weird kind of thing going on. So
cool beans. We're just gonna have a warped dimensional way of.
I guess. I mean, I'm really not sure.
The multiverse of Scoob over here, people.
Well, it could be some, like I said, some software updates are causing some lag in some places. Really not sure how to straighten that out.
I don't know.
I hope it's not too off-putting. But as long as you can hear our voices, and at least that's something, right?
Yeah, that's good. Old school podcast, the voice of Scoob.
Just talking out into the ether. Totally lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, it was just shop stuff. I got it up on Instagram if you want to see how the shop looks now. I can actually move around and start working on some more deep dive organization. Threw out a bunch of stuff that had been sitting there forever, and it was like, I'm never gonna touch this. I'm never gonna use it. I'm never, I had a drafting table when I first moved in, right? Okay. I put the drafting table together. Well, the table was warped one way, and then it was warped the other way. So it was cupped in 2 directions, and I was like, well, that sucks for a drafting table. So yeah. And of course, like so many other weird things, I put it out last night. I came out this morning as the kid's getting ready to go to school, and it's gone. So hopefully whoever picked it up, you can find a lot of good use out of it. Or if you're a scrapper and you're just using the metal to recycle, hey, more power to you.
Yeah, more sense in your pocket. So hey, that's what happens. You put it out, somebody will get it. Somebody will find use of it. Yeah.
That and been crunching audiobooks like crazy.
You mentioned you were going through a few novels.
Yeah, if you're an Audible subscriber, they have a new perk where they have a library of books that you can select from and just add them to your library, and not have to use credits or anything like that. And they had a series of books for BioWare's Mass Effect game. This is a collection of books that were supposed to be give you more lore for the Andromeda game that came out. That was a horrible failure. I mean,
yes, it was.
Let's be honest. Mass Effect Andromeda had a lot of potential, but they totally screwed that up.
Yes.
They pivoted over to Anthem, and then Anthem was a complete train wreck too. So it's like, I think the only redeeming thing BioWare's done recently is, okay, we're going to go back to Dragon Age and we're going to redo the original Mass Effect trilogy. And aside from a couple of things they could not recover, fixed quite a few things that were in that trilogy.
That's what I heard.
There was one DLC pack from the first game they could not get because the source code got corrupted.
That sucks.
It does.
It's all right.
It does.
You can move on to a new game, hopefully.
Yeah. I'm hoping they do. And I actually like the Mass Effect stuff, but it's really funny because the third book I was listening to is called Annihilation.
Okay.
And it has to. The whole story of that one is these pilgrims that are going from the Milky Way to the Andromeda galaxy. But in this book, all your core characters are the other races from the game that you only have passing interaction with. The Quarian, the Hanar, the all the I can't even remember the other ones. The Bothan, not Bothan. Why am I thinking? I'm thinking Bothan because I'm listening to a Star Wars book right now. But all of the other races from the series that are not like the council races. So there's no Tarian, there's no Torian, there's no Solarian, there's no Krogan, there's no human, no Asari, none of them. This is all the other races. And the funny thing is they're dealing with a virus that is running rampant through the ship, killing everybody.
Ouch.
So they're trying to solve this, and it's like, how morbidly ironic, considering what we're going through right now with a virus that is just,
running rampant,
mutating, and trying to figure out a vaccine. We have a vaccine, but the vaccine is not a guarantee. I have friends that are that have vaccinated that are testing positive. So it's like, but this is very interesting. A lot of political intrigue, but it's a really fun book. So Andromeda, Mass Effect Andromeda Annihilation. You can check it out on Audible. They don't do anything. This is just, I have been using Audible for years to listen to books while I'm working in the shop and working on things. Go check it out. But enough of my rambling about audiobooks. Let's talk about some video things. Let's talk about some movies.
Films. Ones that jump back into the comic book realm.
All right.
In a way.
First, we're going to get this one out of the way.
Okay.
And then we're going to talk about that one. We're going to talk about Fatherhood. I have not seen this.
Okay.
But I know it is up on
Netflix.
Sorry, my brain had to reload for a second.
Because we're all on Shang-Chi, so I had to reload too. Because I was like, whoop.
Yeah. So yeah, let's talk about Fatherhood, which is a new movie from Kevin Hart. Again, Netflix putting out films. So right, let's talk about this one.
Okay, Fatherhood stars Kevin Hart in the role as Matt, and what happens is, you can tell from the title, he becomes he's a new father with a newborn daughter. But what happens is that in the beginning of the film, unexpectedly his wife dies in the hospital after giving birth. She dies from a blood clot that travels into her lungs unexpectedly, and she dies instantly. It's very sad. That's the general setup. It's not a spoiler. That happens within the first 5 minutes, which sets the film off on its path of what Matt has to do is find a way to, raise this child by himself, without the help of his wife, because, he was expecting his wife to be there, and she wasn't. What you have in this film is it's very a basic kind of slice of life, and it focuses on the aspect of the father-daughter relationship, but at the same time, all the different kind of general lifestyle tropes that you expect to see in this kind of family drama. On the surface level, it's not something that is new or anything that you haven't seen before, but what makes it, genuinely fun and energetic is that even though you have standard archetypes, it's that watching him raise the daughter and watching their relationship develop from, you know, a newborn to toddlerhood, because it does do it in two phases. You see the beginning with the with him as a newborn, and then it flashes forward to her as, you know, a young toddler or a young, you know, kid going into school. And it's that a hardiness of their relationship that makes the film enjoyable to watch. And it's actually one of the more pulled back performances by Kevin Hart. If you know Kevin Hart, he's known for his lot of stand-up comedies, a lot of his like loudness and craziness. If you've seen Jumanji and some of the other comedies, you understand. But he's more pulled back, more reserved, and you get to see a more tender, dramatic, like heartfelt character in this role. And, you know, a person who has never been a father and who's always has done things a certain ways, he has to find a way to mature through his situation and be the father that his wife wanted him to be for his daughter. So when the movie shifts into where she becomes a kid, it does introduce some other different things that you have to deal with as a single parent, like relationships and school and other different things that you have happening, like his career development. And it just builds even more consequences, and it's that family drama and that genuine groundedness that makes it a fun ride, a genuine fun ride. There's no really like main plot thread through it. It's just watching life as is. And his role in the dramatic role actually surprised me in a good way.
Seems kind of weird to kind of a weird film to make a film. This feels like probably more of like a one-act stage play or something.
In a way, but it does have like phases. So you have the beginning where you have all the sadness because of the wife passing. Then you have him raising the newborn and trying to get through all the different antics, and you know, you have funny scenes, dramatic scenes, whatnot. And then when it moves into the latter half with him as a kid, it elaborates on the relationship, and you know, it brings up those like common, you know, self-reflection moments that you see in other films, but it's the groundedness that makes it enjoyable.
Okay. So what'd you give it?
Overall, it's nothing you haven't seen before, but it is genuinely fun. It's right where it is on Netflix. Good time at home, but it wouldn't, if it was in theaters, I wouldn't, you know, be, you know, it would be fun time at the theaters as well. So 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5.
Yep.
Okay.
Just average fun. Average fun.
Alrighty. And of course,
back at it.
Let's talk Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi.
Now, as we said, this is Marvel's latest entry in there. We've seen a lot of hype for it. This is our first Asian American or Asian inspired MCU film. First martial arts film.
Yep.
Out of the MCU. And I personally, before we get too far into the review, I'm just gonna be honest. I'll be like this.
Take it away, Scoob. What do you feel?
I feel.
Tell me what you feel.
This is in my top 5 of the MCU films. There's a lot of films to pick from, but
27 to be exact at this point.
27 films, and this one is by far in that top 5. Immediately after watching it, I had so much fun. It was such the humor, the pacing, and the uniqueness or originality of this, as opposed to, we're not in these, because when we look at the other films, we're looking at Iron Man. This is a tech genius who puts together a suit of armor. We look at Thor, a god of thunder who's an alien, coming and doing things. Captain America, again, science and genetic manipulation.
Super soldier.
So, I mean, Doctor Strange, you kind of get into the mysticism side, but this is a guy, genius level intellect, who is just, you know, trying to recover something he lost. Yeah. And then you come into this film and you're like, the people feel average. They feel normal. They don't feel like they're, you know, these larger than life characters. It's just the situation they're in and the reactions to those situations and the ride, the friendship. One of the things I love most about this film is the dynamic and the chemistry between Shang-Chi and Tracy. Katie.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said Tracy. Shang-Chi and Katie. It feels like it's like your best friend.
Yep.
I mean,
a very, very wholesome platonic relationship. that they have going on.
Yeah, I mean, I was sitting there, and ironic, and this is funny because going into this film, my friend called me up and says, "Hey, are you sure I'm not. You sure you want to go do this?" And I'm like, "Dude, you wanted to go do this? I'm there." I kind of there's what was it I said the adage of there are those friends you call when you're in jail. And then there are those friends sitting next to you going, "That was a lot of fun. Let's do it again." I like to think I'm that kind of a friend.
You're that guy.
As opposed to the others, but watch and then having that in my mind and then going to see this film and seeing, yeah, literally they are those two people that are sitting there. It's like, the crazy and the humor is hilarious. It's in some regards it can be considered corny, but in a lot of respects, the timing is just spot on. You check this out and it's like, oh, this is hilarious. I don't want to get into too much on spoilers, but I would definitely go check this movie out again if you haven't it for a second time for me. But if you haven't seen it, go check this out. They did not now the nice thing with this, they did not co-release this onto Disney Plus, which I think now you have a legit argument for the same day release that we were talking about with Black Widow and Jungle Cruise and a lot of these others that are, we're releasing at theaters, but we're also releasing on the streaming platform for that particular studio. And the kind of lackluster box office numbers we've been seeing, like this one, 4-day weekend, okay, but still $90 million in a 4-day weekend. Black Widow got what, 70 million on its opening weekend?
80 million with the day and date release. So
thanks for ruining my theory, Ryan. Anyway,
just giving the numbers.
Yeah, but this was a lot of fun. And again, this is another great villain. This is another great story. This is another good world building. And of course, probably some of the best post-credit scenes ever. Right? What about you? What are your thoughts?
You almost summarized everything I was going to say, but I'll try to fill in the blanks. Almost, but actually go into the review. So Xiangxi in The Legend of the Ten Rings follows the titular character of Xiangxi. He has been living in hiding in San Francisco for about a decade. I remember him saying 10 years.
Yeah.
And through certain situations, he has to go back home and he'll face certain truths to become who he was born to be. A very typical tagline that you see in most origin tales. And with Marvel and origin tales, they do have a certain formula that they build them with. So you have a very predictable outline that it builds on, but what you have here is a new character which does a good mixture of lore introduction and slow character building. With the introduction of martial arts, Asian culture and stuff, it does spruce up the character building in here. And actually another thing that is a staple in this film is the father-son dynamic. So in the beginning, you get an introduction through an epilogue to the Ten Rings that you see, and how they have influenced certain events over the centuries. This prologue becomes the foundation for the rest of the film, because central to the father-son conflict are these 10 rings, and also the very thematic ties to family-like relationships, because you get an introduction to the sister/daughter. So what you have, he's living in San Francisco under the name of Sean. Yeah, that's really clever, you know. So Xiangxi, played by Simu Liu, if you know the name, recognize he plays in a sitcom called Kim Convenience. It's on Netflix. Check it out. Very great. And his friend Katie Aquafina happened to get attacked by the Ten Rings organization on a train in San Francisco. One of the best.
No, it was a bus. Because that was
bus trains. Yeah, bus train.
It was a commuter bus, but it was one of those that had the two cars with the little I can't even remember that instrument. Yeah.
I know what instrument you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about out there. It's like,
accordion.
There you go.
Yeah, okay. So they get attacked on this accordion bus, which is by far one of the best fight sequences I have ever seen in a film to this date.
So organic, so dynamic. It was great.
Yeah. after this is when the film, I think, picks up, and then you start to see the evolution of Shang-Chi, the father-son dynamic, and him trying to figure out why his father wants to bring his sister and him back into the fold. Um, through all of that, you get a film that is layered with very strong character building with that father-son dynamic, very strong martial arts inspired action, and another great thing is a very mystical element that is slowly building and slowly introduced, especially once they get the China into the latter half. Once they get into the latter half, they have to travel to another dimension known as Tao Lung. Am I right? I
Yeah,
think it's called Tao Lung.
it's Tao Long, and that's where that third act where they do the mysticism stuff. I like one of the things to throw in there is the fact that they really hit a lot of that mythology for the culture.
Yeah.
This isn't the Western interpretation of some of these things. This is right in there, and it was really cool. I mean, I've never seen some of these creatures, but they looked really awesome. And I like how they were all played
very well created creatures. CGI, but you would not know when you're looking at it. Very colorful, very bright. And it leads into a third act, which is I would call it a fireworks display. So you have the one side, Wenwu, who is his father, aka the Mandarin, which gets explained in the film how it came about to be. Wenwu is played by Tony Zhang. He's a very famous Chinese actor. Check out his filmography; he's really good. But the third act is very much a culmination of that father-son conflict, but as well as you start to see the dynamism, the dynamics between the characters themselves. There's no good and bad, and it's just a wrestling of the truth and a mixture of the mysticism of why everything has to center in Taolong. And you get some very great action, some great mixtures of the mystical within the action, and just a very amazing set pieces that culminates in everything into an extravaganza that is both creative, imaginative, and very emotional.
Yes.
So
what'd you call it?
Overall, this is probably one of the best MCU films I've seen in quite a while. Well, it's been a long time, other than Black Widow, but it's probably in my top 5 too, like you. Even though it's a very, Marvel's formula, they are able to spruce it up with the mixture of kung fu, imaginative sequences, and the lore. 4 out of 5 full price.
Okay, 4 out of 5 is good.
Saw it in Dolby Theater. It was great. So.
Yeah, I like that father-son dynamic, and I like how, again, we have a villain that you actually feel for.
Yeah, you actually care because he has dynamic. Like you mentioned, it's not only Shang-Chi's story, but it's his father's story as you see the prologue and him building and his relationship and the tragedy that happens and leads him to certain things.
Yes, totally.
What's your rating?
4 out of 5 as well.
Yep.
Solid.
I want to see this again. I do want to see this again.
Solid film.
There's a weekend with no movies. I might go back to it on a Friday. You want to come with me?
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
All right.
Alrighty, so what else we got on our docket tonight?
Some games, some whatnots and nots.
Some games.
Or at least I was gaming.
You looks like you've been sitting there, getting back into the racing genre. What prompted that, buddy?
I do not know. I just got the urge to want to race, and I had Forza Horizon 4. I've been, I play it off and on, and I've been building it, but I actually wanted to go back into it because the Forza series has been one of my favorites. I mean, I grew up playing Gran Turismo, but when you transition over to Xbox, Forza is the car sim. But what they also had done in recent years, they introduced the open world aspect of racing with the Forza Horizon series. And Forza Horizon 4 is like the culmination until 5 comes out later this year.
Yeah, I have it pre-ordered on Game Pass.
Is like the culmination of what they've been building. So what Forza Horizon is an open world. It's like GTA but with cars. So you're taking place in these racing events around a certain area. 4 takes place in the UK, and you race in different series. So you have rally races, street races, road races. You have what you call over the top events. Literally, they had me racing a B2 bomber as a spectacle event. They have a Halo spectacle event. I haven't done it yet. But
I just like the open driving.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's what's
with
great
that
about
one,
it.
the open driving and trying to find all the classic cars are
Oh
hidden
yeah.
in barns.
That has been my favorite thing, is finding those barns, because once I found one that had like an old school Escort, and I took it and I souped it up. I made it look like an Xbox console. So, and the cool thing with the going on with the building the cars, you can craft your car in various different ways and make different levels of cars depending on your races. So I have certain cars that race in certain races because of the way I tune them up, and then I have supercars for the super races.
I think comparatively, I would much rather play the Horizon one than the flagship
Yeah.
Forza.
Yeah, Flagship Forza is for the die-hard racers, but the Horizon is the one that fits my mold. You have enough crafting abilities. You have a ton of vehicles. Like, literally, there's like 1,000+ vehicles you can get or win.
That, and the other thing is with the Forza game, it's all racetracks.
Yeah.
With Horizon, it's out in the real world. It's a lot of fun.
And the cool thing is like, if you have a persistent online connection, other people are there, so you can actually, if you come across somebody, you can join them,
the drivatars,
race them. And the funny thing is with the drivatar is that they adapt to your racing style. So every time you're racing them, they find ways to, in layman's terms, piss you off. I'm gonna just say that. Like, literally, one guy, when I was racing, I think it was just a race, just a street race one, and the dude held me back so the guy in the front could get further away, and I'm just like, this, but you know,
road raging on a digital game.
Yeah. The customization is stupendous. The open world, like, literally, you can go off-roading if you felt like it. They do have this one awesome thing called the Exterminator. I think it's called the Exterminator. So it's like a Fortnite-esque kind of world where, like, it constantly is shrieking. So it's like 48 of y'all on this map, and it's constantly shrinking. You want to be the last one, and you're just trying to stay in. But the thing is, you also have to constantly upgrade your vehicle. So you're hitting different spots, and it tells you what kind of vehicle you get. But at the same time, you can also become a target. So somebody can come to you and target you, and then you have to race them to get to a certain spot in time. And, like, are you just going to go straight over the hill, or are you going to take the road? And me, I go straight off-road and to beat the guy. So that's a pretty cool feature.
Interesting.
But yeah, I've been playing that. I've been, souping up my cars. I did post a photo on Instagram with one of my cars, my little, like, color checkered looking Volkswagen. But yeah, it's fun. And I also, just because of the trailer for Saints Row, went back and played Saints Row the Third. I
actually haven't played any of the Saints Row games. I think I have a couple of them through my gold membership, because the free games every month. And
yeah, Saints Row the Third is, well, I played the first one, never played the second one, and I've touched the third one. I just put in the cheats because I just wanted to go around and just rampage the city. So,
video game stuff, did you hear how they delayed God of War Ragnarok and Horizon
till when?
Forbidden West? They're both set for 2022. I think Horizon is set for February 2022 now.
Are they both for first quarter, or is God of War pushed off further?
I can't say. I have to double check, but I know, because I'm more interested in the Horizon game than the God of War game.
Yep.
But the fact that Horizon's in first quarter 2022 now, hopefully it doesn't get delayed again.
Yeah, well, hopefully they tweak it and get it working. So, because, I know it's going to be dual release PS4, PS5, but, PS5 needs some games. So,
PS5 needs some consoles too.
Yes, that is true. So,
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to a PS5 if you could actually find one.
Oh yeah, me too. But I probably would wait until God of War came out, because that would be a game I would get and play.
I think I'm still going to hold true with my buddy Shadowmains, and I am going to wait. And because he and I were talking about this back when it was about ready to launch, and it was he had suggested. The suggestion we discussed was waiting until the next Monster Hunter game releases for PlayStation, and then buy the PS5 then.
No, I might do that. That's kind of what I did with the PS4. I waited for Monster Hunter World to drop because my friends wanted to play it, and that's the only console they play. So
that's what I'm thinking I'm going to do. So I'm going to wait till then and then buy it.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Well, truly, I'm waiting for Final Fantasy 16. So
I've actually been thinking about going back to Final Fantasy.
7 remake? No,
No,
8.
I actually haven't touched that one yet.
You know they dropped another set of Final Fantasy games on Game Pass.
I saw that.
I think
More of
it's
the classics.
13. I think. I can't remember.
15 was the big open world one, right?
Yeah, 15 was a big open world one.
I was thinking about going back to that one because for some reason I was sitting there driving to work the other day, and as I'm thinking there, I'm hearing the lines when you're in 15 and you're wandering around in the desert, and Knox is sitting there going, "It's so hot," and his friend's like, "Take off the jacket."
Yeah.
I cannot remember. I cannot tell you how many hours sitting there listening to that comment before I found the setting where you can actually take off the jacket. And I was like, oh, that is so clever that the banter could actually lead you to finding some feature within the game to do that. And it was like,
I always get intrigued to go back because I know that they've filled in a lot of the stuff that was not in it originally released.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's because the Royal Edition, and it has a ton of more content. But it's like, I already beat the game and I don't feel like going back. So
I just went back just because, the new game plus is so broken. It's so much fun because you literally, whatever level you ended the game with, you could start at the beginning, yet none of the monsters scaled up.
Yeah, you can just wipe through them.
So I would avoid being out at night the first time around because it was so dangerous.
It was dangerous.
This time it's like, oh, bring it.
Oh yeah, that's what I like with the Scarlet Nexus. Like, I can just play through the other half souped up, so I can just fill in the gaps. That's all I care about. So
alrighty, well, let's get into some odds and ends.
Oddies and endies. Yeah, we can. We
got enough time. We got about 15 minutes to try and wrap this up.
Oh yeah, we got enough time. We can actually dibble dabble.
Yeah,
and talk about them. So right. Which one you want to talk first? Because there's quite a few funny ones.
I think let's talk about, we're talking about taking travels in Europe and all that. Let's talk about, because I know Lord of the Rings is real near and dear to you.
It always is, and I'm looking forward to that series on Amazon so much, but, until then, I got to cherish these articles.
We have an article from The Guardian.
Yes.
That was posted a couple days ago, talking about a gentleman who lives in Italy who bought a plot of land and is living like a hobbit.
Yep. Nicholas Gentile, a 37-year-old Italian pastry chef, did not only want to pretend to be a hobbit, he wanted to live like one.
So he bought this plot of land and built himself is working on building himself a scaled up version of Bilbo's house.
Yep.
And just kind of dresses like a hobbit, lives like a hobbit. He's trying to, his goal is to build this place up to be like a tourist place where visitors can come and live in the Shire and explore life as a hobbit, which I think is really cool with the world sometimes, and it's a nice callback. But probably the cooler thing about this is that he and some of his friends dressed up as the Fellowship and walked from where he lives to Mount Vesuvius to kind of reenact the travel of the Fellowship to destroy the One Ring. It's like, what was it, 120 kilometers?
120 miles from Chieti to Naples.
And it's the walk up there to do that. And another nice thing is the guy's a geologist too.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, I think that just sounds really cool. Yeah. But I would have been like, well, isn't the whole Shire still built in New Zealand that you can go and visit?
Yeah, well, you have the full Shire, and you have the full Hobbiton in the Green Dragon Inn you can visit. So this guy is just trying to recreate it on this countryside. He wants to build a, quote, the caravan of the dwarves, the Green Dragon Inn, and a large version of Bilbo Baggins' house. So he wants to have a whole village, like you said, not only for him and for people to visit. So it's in I might butcher this name, in Bucciano, which is the countryside just outside of Chieti in Abruzzo, Italy. So want to go out and visit? If you want to be out there in Italy, you can go and visit because he has the place open up for visitors to come check it out. So
cool. Alrighty, so for our next one, All right, let's just get this out of the way because I'm personally not a fan of the Jackass films.
And I'm the opposite, and I am.
But I gotta say, this does not strike me as a shock at all.
Not a shocker.
So, if you're a fan of the Jackass films, everybody has their taste. I personally think they're a waste. I don't like them. I don't like the premise. But we have this article from IGN where it talks about the amount of medical bills that were racked up during filming of the latest Jackass film. And I can't say I'm surprised because if you've watched any of the films, you won't be surprised either.
Nope, not really.
Apparently, they drummed up some 24 million in medical bills.
Yep, and it was a study done by and commissioned by Nova Legal Funding, which presented approximate for how much it was spent on. So at the top is the head honcho, Johnny Knoxville, who estimated his medical bills would be about 8.66 million. Followed by Enron McGinry for 7.38 million and Steve-O for 5.82.
Yeah, so. No. All right, we got that covered. Getting that out of the way. I think it's ridiculous.
I think it's awesome.
Okay, you can do that. Let's talk about talk to me about these blue lobsters.
Yeah, blue lobsters, as reported in the BBC News. A fisherman, Ricky Greenhow, 47, who fishes off of Aberdeen in the UK, caught a blue lobster. It's a rare blue lobster, which they said the chances of catching one is 2 million to 1. So he said he could sell it, but he's probably going to donate it to the museum. And the blue lobster are so colored because, quote from the article, of a genetic abnormality that causes them to produce more of a certain protein than others. So
interesting.
Yeah, he said he could, like I said, he could sell it, but he's going to donate it to Macduff Aquarium.
So what makes them blue?
It's the certain protein that is produced in them. They said it's an abnormality.
Well, like albinism?
Yep.
Oh, interesting.
So this isn't just a rare occurrence. One of the rare occurrences. In Dorset, in 2011, two fishermen caught that, like you mentioned, an albino or crystal lobster, which is odds are 1 in 100 million.
Oh wow, that is cool.
All right.
Alrighty, our final story for tonight is we all know we have to go to the dentist.
Gotta get those cleanings.
Everyone enjoys going to the dentist.
Filling those cavities.
I don't know why my picture froze, so yeah. Again, as I said, I've been there's some camera bugs tonight. Not sure what's going on with that, but let's talk about, we all have seen all these different gimmicks for trying to get people to come into a place of business.
Yes.
Ryan and I were talking about offline, one of the Wendy's restaurants near where I live. We passed by it and it was showing, it had a sign in the window that said $100 signing bonus for applicants because they were so looking for people and looking for customers. Well, we have this dentist who came up with I think a means of encouraging new patients that is right in line with our whole philosophy of life. And what it is if you are a new patient, or you are not necessarily a new patient, but if you are a patient of this particular dentist and you want to get a free teeth cleaning, it is possible, provided you can beat him in a one-on-one Smash Brothers game.
Yes.
So he sits there, he gives you like tournament rules, and if you can beat him in a one-on-one game of Smash Brothers, then you get a free teeth cleaning. You have to be a registered patient, so you just can't walk in the door and says, "I challenge you," and go from there. But I can't help it, Ry. I think this is probably one of the most cool gimmicky. It's a gimmick. It's a gimmick, but it's probably one of the coolest things, especially if you're sitting there and you're one of these kids who spends a lot of time playing Smash Brothers.
And there's a lot of us that have,
especially Smash Brothers Ultimate, which had like a roster of 80 different characters to pick from at this point.
Counting.
So, I mean, I think can't help but say that's cool. What do you think?
My thoughts is this article from Game Rant. It's probably it's a gimmick, but it's an awesome gimmick. So Dr. Tej A. Shah of the Zen Family Dental came up with this way to get people to come in so they can get the cleaning. So the basic rules of the matches: the 1v1 showdown, including 3 stocks, no items, and no final smashes. So straight brawl. With that character, you know, there's a lot of characters in there, so you know, straight brawl that makes it even. So you just got to be really skilled and beat this guy, at the game. So in addition to filming a video for YouTube, quote, the dentist posted a challenge on Reddit as well.
Nice. All right. Well, if you want to check out these articles we were talking about, we have them posted in our Discord, the Scuba Studio Discord, as well as and you can get there's info on our website, as well as probably in the doobly-doo down below, at least for the link to the website. We have a channel for odds and ends. You can check it out there. Vote on stories that Ry posts for which ones we'll talk about. Yeah, you did, Mayflower. You did. I knew you'd enjoy Smash Brothers. My daughter's wanted me to get her a copy of the game, which I'm going to do.
Hey, go get a free cleaning.
Where is this dentist office located at?
This dentist office is located. I'm trying to find out.
I'm sure it says in the article.
No, it doesn't, but I'll find it.
Alrighty. Well, Ry does on that. Or did you find it?
It is located in Fairfax, Virginia, I think.
Oh, snap. Now you definitely called out if you're in Virginia and you check out that story and want to go see about getting a new dentist. See how your skills are. But with that, we want to thank everybody for checking this video out, watching it all the way to the end. I do apologize again for the video camera issues. Like I said, there was some bugs. I couldn't quite get them worked out. Hopefully I'm worked out for our next one. And if you're so if you enjoyed this, be sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe, hit the bell notification if you're new here to know about new videos as we release them. Moderators, thank you very much in the chat. You're awesome and amazing. Viewers, thank you for watching. You're awesome and amazing. Hope you all have a wonderful week and a wonderful weekend. If you are a Patreon member, stand by, head over to Patreon or go to the subscriber chat in the Discord for the link. And we will be rolling over to our Patreon only stream where we're going to talk about the end of Challenge Accepted and what is the new game. We are looking at putting together to start sometime in the next few weeks. I think tentatively we're looking at an October release, still working out some of those details, but we're going to talk about that on the Patreon stream. So with that, again, have a wonderful week. Stay safe, love each other, and we will see you on our next broadcast. Good night, everybody.
Peace. I got the location wrong.